thank in advance Jason Runyon from the National Weather Service for being here with us and being such a great partner in all this. We couldn't do what it is we're trying to do in terms of preparation and making sure that all of our citizens and residents are prepared without the work of the National Weather Service, and Jason is particularly important to all that. But we also want everyone to know what the city and Travis County are doing to prepare and what the public, members of the public, need to do to prepare to keep yourself, your family, and your neighbors safe through this event. Just a month ago, we were all together for a press conference to remind the community what was coming, and the fact we wanted to remind everybody that extreme weather is always possible here in Central Texas. Well, winter is here. Certainly it will be here tomorrow, and we will have more to report on that in just a minute. What I'm going to do is just mention one thing, and then I'm going to turn it over to the judge, and then we'll bring Jason up so that you can get his expertise with regard to the weather. But as was announced yesterday, today Judge Brown and I are both taking the needed actions to preemptively declare an emergency or disaster, is the word that the declaration talks about, so that we do a couple of things. One is there's a clear recognition of the severity of what this weekend could hold and how serious we are taking this to make sure that people understand. If you can stay indoors this weekend, please stay indoors. The other thing is so that we will be in a position to act quickly and fast if we need to be doing anything with regard to an emergency or disaster. And with that, I'm going to hold the rest of my comments. I want to turn it over to Judge Brown, and then we'll bring up some other folks. So, Judge?
Thanks, Mayor. All right, so we live in Texas. We are preparing for the worst because we never completely know what the weather is going to do in Texas. So I think everybody listening needs to take that into consideration. And I know that everybody in this room is taking that into consideration. We've got people here representing huge departments of the city, of the county, of entities like Cap Metro that you're going to hear from in a little bit about how seriously everybody is taking this to make sure that we get through this well. We've been watching this weather system as everybody else has been, and as you know, this can change very quickly, so I'm very excited to hear from Jason in just a second to make sure we have the very latest information about the weather. These weather conditions can lead to slick and hazardous roads, and you're going to hear about the timing of that from Jason and others. But please listen carefully to what they say and follow their advice about staying off roads when they become icy and slick. Earlier this week, the Travis County Emergency Management staff met with community organizations that are active in disasters, including ADRN, the American Red Cross, and the Central Texas Food Bank. I've talked to the food bank myself. They have supplies on hand for water, for food. They're helping us stock the different shelters around the county and around the city. We're making sure that we're coordinating with the places of worship that are also opening up their facilities as shelters as needed across the county and across the city. Our Constable Stacy Suits in Precinct 3 is also doing a lot of work making sure that the coordination with those churches is happening in Southwest Travis County. You're going to hear from, you may not hear from them today, but the road folks at the county and the city have been pre-treating roads with a solution that will kind of stick to the roads, hopefully, assuming not too much rain comes. If that is not sufficient, we also have, I think, magnesium chloride that we're going to treat. We can use once it is snowy and icy as well. Health and Human Services Department is working with the city as well to make sure that the warming centers are open as needed, and we will of course adjust that as we see how much need there is depending on when the weather comes and how cold it gets. But the things that you can do as a community, make sure that you are focusing on your household, your neighbors, checking in on your neighbors, especially anyone who is medically vulnerable. Look after your plants, your pets, your people, and your pipes. If you can reduce problems at your house, that allows first responders to respond to other folks that are in need. I talked a little bit ago to HEB. I know I've seen some posts on social media Frankly, some with pictures not from this storm at all about empty shelves and things like that. HEB assures me that that is not the case, that their operations are running well. The person I talked to was just at a HEB in Southwest Travis County, said everything is good. So their operations are running well. They're making sure that they're stocking stores with the things that we need. I'm going to say a little bit in Spanish. El Condado de Travis está monitoreando de cerca un sistema de clima invernal que llegará tarde esta noche y podría afectar la región durante el fin de semana, con posibles carreteras resbaladizas, cortes de energía y frío peligroso. Las autoridades ya están coordinando con organizaciones comunitarias para preparar refugios y centros de calentamiento, incluyendo espacios para personas sin hogar, y están tratando carreteras clave para reducir el hielo. Es muy importante que cuida su casa con las plantas, las personas, las mascotas, las tuberías, para que las personas que necesitan responder en emergencias pueden ayudar a otras personas y no tienen que ir a su casa por problemas ahí. Es muy importante que trabajamos juntos en este tiempo de problemas invernales. And now, Mayor, am I turning it back over to you?
Well, just Jason Runyon from the National Weather Service.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Good morning, I'm Jason Runyon with the National Weather Service. I want to provide an update on the winter weather expected to impact the area over the weekend and into early next week. A winter storm warning and an extreme cold warning are currently in effect. What we are confident in right now is a prolonged and impactful cold event. We are expecting hard freezes Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night, along with the potential for a long duration freeze in some locations lasting 36 to 48 hours Saturday afternoon through midday Monday. It will be dangerously cold and wind chill values dropping into the single digits to lower teens Sunday and Monday mornings. We expect periods of cold rain, even a few thunderstorms possible Friday night into Saturday morning, and we're currently forecasting 1 to 2 inches of liquid precipitation Friday night into Saturday morning. As we move later into Saturday, intermittent freezing rain could begin developing over the Austin metro area as early as late Saturday afternoon, becoming more likely Saturday evening and continuing into Sunday morning. At this time, ice accumulations between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch are likely, which means travel will become difficult, especially on bridges, overpasses, and untreated roadways. There is an increasing potential that we could see some higher accumulations of 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice across the hill country, potentially into Travis and Williamson counties. We want to encourage people to avoid unnecessary travel during periods of freezing rain. If you do have to drive, slow down and give yourself extra space. Protect people, pets, pipes, and plants, and limit time outdoors during periods of this extreme cold. If you use space heaters, make sure that they are used safely and never left unattended. We also want to encourage everyone to check on vulnerable neighbors, especially those elderly and those without reliable heat. Finally, I just want to stress it's important to note that this forecast is still evolving, even over the next 24 to 36 hours. While our confidence is increasing on the overall impacts, fluctuations in the ice forecast are still possible and likely. We want to encourage people to stay weather aware over the next 24 to 36 hours and monitor updates as the event unfolds. Follow us at weather.gov/Austin or on Facebook or X at nws.San Antonio. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason, and again, I want to say thank you for all the work you do. I want to recognize that our Austin City Manager is also with us, T.C. Broadnax, and what we're going to do is hear from a couple of the professional experts with regard to our emergency management, and then we'll open it up for questions, including any questions anybody might have with Jason. I do want to emphasize a couple of things. One is that the EOC will be the base of operations for any emergency events, and the room just behind here, which many of you have seen before and know about, is going to be, we will be activating the Emergency Operations Center, and it will be full of folks monitoring the situation, identifying any needs, deploying resources as the judge has just indicated, and working to keep the media, all of y'all, aware so that the community can then be informed. As has been pointed out, we need everyone to do the 4 Ps. In other words, protect people, pets, plants, and pipes. But I'm going to add a 5th P, and that is part of the reason we're doing this now is so that people will plan. People will plan and be prepared for what this weekend will hold. You've already heard it. If you don't need to be out over the weekend, please don't be out. Don't be on the streets. And get your home ready for what might be having all your family there, maybe your neighbors also being there. Be ready for that to happen all this weekend. And again, check on your neighbors, especially those that might need extra assistance. It's also been said a couple of times, please try to be alert. And there are a couple of ways to do that. First is sign up for emergency notifications at warn, W-A-R-N, warncentraltexas.org, warncentraltexas.org. And you can also download the free Ready Central Texas app, Ready Central Texas. You can put that on your phone, and that provides updates and provides news. It provides emergency planning checklists and more resources on how people can prepare for the winter weather. Again, I can't urge strongly enough for members of the community to sign up for these warnings. That way you'll have more information. And as I indicated, we're going to rely upon the National Weather Service. They're providing us good information, and we will keep people informed with regard to that throughout the weekend as well. With all that being said, let me bring up Jim Reddick from the City of Austin, who is the professional director of our emergency management operations. Jim?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Jim Reddick, and I am the Director of Austin Emergency Management. I do want to take a moment to emphasize what the mayor and the judge has said. We are not just now responding. We have been ramping up for this incident for all week. So all the different agencies that are involved, we've been working, we've been collaborating, coordinating, communicating. And I have to say, it's not just city departments that are doing this. It's also in conjunction with the county, also in conjunction with TDEM, and so many other organizations that all kinds of acronyms and agencies, we've all been working together. So again, the commitment is that we're not going to react. We're going to respond according to the plans. And like the mayor said, we're going to be in the Emergency Operations Center over the weekend. We're expecting the freezing rain and sleet to happen later on Saturday evening. We're going to be ready for that. Everyone's going to be positioned in their seats, and any issues that happen, we're going to be ready, again, to respond. So among all those different agencies, organizations, different sectors and levels of government, the community is also part of that team, right? We're all in this together. We're one community, we have one plan, and we work through this through communication and information sharing. There's things that you can do in the community to help this team, and that is to take steps, take advantage of this day to prepare your home. When they say protect your pipes, that's something so simple that could be done. And if not, there's a lot of sadness down the road because there are a lot of costly repairs. Be sure to take care of your pets. Don't leave them out in the conditions. If it's not appropriate for us, it's not appropriate for them either. And of course, the people. Life safety is always the #1 priority for any incident. So we want to make sure that our staffing is good to go, and they are. David Gray and the homeless shelter office is doing a great job in conjunction with a lot of our other partners in support of those efforts. The health department works with the steer registry, reaching out to folks to make sure that they are aware of the incident, the inclement weather that's coming, and certainly post-disaster, post-ice, they'll be able to respond and reach out to them and make sure that everyone's okay. Likewise, credit goes to Austin Energy and Austin Water for their vulnerable registries, where they know exactly the meters for their vulnerable residents, so they can restore power or whatever the need is with a sense of urgency, placing the life safety over other business needs. So again, people, check on your neighbors. Something so simple, and we saw from previous incidents, if you're willing to take that simple step of checking on your neighbor, especially if you know that they might be vulnerable, that in and of itself can make this just an inconvenient incident and rather than a disaster. That is a life safety measure. So with that, I believe that's, okay, I've mentioned the EOC activation. Please check on your neighbors, pets, pipes, and people. And again, I just want to emphasize all the work and the collaboration that's going on in this. In fact, I'll say not just collaboration, but coordination with so many agencies in this area. This area is rich with resources and collaborative relationships built on trust. And together, we'll continue to communicate and coordinate and get through this. And with that, I'd like to introduce one of my partners and friends, Eric Carter, the Emergency Manager for Travis County.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you all. I'm Eric Carter. I'm the Chief Emergency Management Coordinator for Travis County. As the judge mentioned, we've been preparing all week, as Jim has told you. I'm here to reemphasize also personal preparedness. Critical timing. All of us have to do our part to stay ready. One of the most important steps residents can take right now to stay informed. We're going to hammer that message to you. If you don't know what's going on, it puts you in a weaker position to protect your family, your pets, your pipes, etc. So please sign up for Warn Central Texas. As the mayor said, Warn, W-A-R-N, centraltexas.org. This is a free alert system. It has it does notifications by text or email. Residents should make sure they are signed up for alerts with their utility providers. If you're outside of the Austin Energy area, the other providers in our county, Blue Bonnet, Preparedness, they will also have similar systems. You need to reach out and sign up with them. And of course, please sign up for alerts from the National Weather Service. If you go on there, weather.gov, and do a little, you can sign up for alerts from the local forecast office. Another key part of preparedness is just having basic supplies at home. At a minimum, you need to have blankets and warm clothing available to you, flashlight and extra batteries, 1 gallon of water per person per day. For this weekend, that's about 2 to 3 gallons, right? And some non-perishable food supplies. That could be the difference between a fun weekend with your family on a cold weekend and something a little bit more stressful. So if you don't have those things ready, we really encourage you to take a step to do that. In addition to that, keep your vulnerable groups in mind, your neighbors, family, friends that may need a little extra help, older adults, okay, neighbors with medical needs, and anyone who may need extra assistance during extreme cold. Make sure they have heat, necessary medications, and a way to receive emergency alerts. If you or someone you know depends on medical equipment that requires electricity, now is the time to review backup plans if available. Our professionals are here to assist in an emergency. Your job is to make sure there is no emergency. You have a plan and you can take action. If you have pets, bring them indoors. Watch for shivering or low energy. For yourself, if you're outdoors and working, water breaks, that sort of thing. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Knock on car hoods before starting, as animals may hide in there. That's a little one, but it's something to think about, right? And of course, for yourself, please be careful this weekend. If we do get, and it looks like we will, some icy weather, when you step out that door, look down, right? Take your time, step slow, so you don't have a slip and fall. And that could ruin your weekend. As conditions evolve, OEM, our Office of Emergency Management, will continue working closely with county departments, City of Austin, and others, and community partners to coordinate our response efforts and share timely information. Preparedness, of course, is a shared responsibility, so take steps now to protect not only your household, but our entire community. Thank you. Please continue to follow official updates as this winter weather event unfolds. I'll pass it back to Mayor Watson. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and thanks for all the work. We have, as I indicated, are you going to speak without, or you wait for questions? Okay. What we're going to do now is open it up for questions. I'm sorry?
I'm not sure how to think. Dottie wanted to
Oh,
speak.
I'm sorry. Well, they didn't tell me that.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry.
No problem.
but it's
Thank
good
you.
to have you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dottie Watkins. I'm the president and CEO at Cap Metro. We've been working closely with our partners with the city and the county, and we understand the important role that we play in our community. But ultimately, the safety of our customers and our frontline staff is important. Given the ice accumulation that is being predicted, we have made the determination to pull our buses and trains out of service tomorrow evening. So we are asking all of our customers to plan to take their last trips by 4 p.m. So what that means is if you're counting on a bus or a train or a pickup vehicle to get you home, you should be on board that vehicle on Saturday by 4 p.m. In order to allow us to get all of the vehicles off the street before dark. Above all else, this is a safety decision. We need to get our staff, our customers, and our vehicles home safely. Given the anticipated ice accumulation, we know that the roadways are not going to be a good place to be. Temperatures are expected to drop to unsafe levels, and so as everyone else has said, please make sure that you are indoors if possible. We don't want people outside hanging out at bus stops. It's not going to be a good place to be, so we encourage you to get inside. We will continue to be staffed over the weekend, through the weekend, to support our emergency operations partners, including the cold weather sheltering operations happening at One Texas Center. So as transportation is needed for emergency response, we'll be focusing our efforts there. But our regularly scheduled transit service is currently scheduled to stop after 4 p.m. on Saturday. As we get closer to the weather event and get more detailed forecasts, we'll make decisions tomorrow about Sunday and likely Sunday about Monday. But we did want to make sure that everyone knows if you're going to need a bus or a train home on Saturday, please make sure you're on board the vehicle by 4 p.m. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, just one other thing. Want to recognize someone else here, Cody. So this is Cody McDonald. He's the TDEM representative for this region. And just over the past 5 years of disasters, the mayor and I and all of our governments have relied so much on TDEM. I think we always check in with them before disasters, and this one is no different. I talked to them. They've got resources staged nearby if we need more support in this disaster, just like they are with any part of Texas. But I just want to give a shout out to TDEM and let folks know that they're an indispensable part of any response, and if things get a lot worse, they're there for us as well. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yes, we were very thankful for TDEM. What I would say before we open it up for questions is what you're hearing is there's been, I'm sorry, I asked her if she wanted to, and she said she not now. Thank you. What we hopefully are conveying is that work has gone so that we will be prepared and as best we can and as humanly possible. We are going to be as responsive as we can and as humanly possible. But as you also heard from Jason, the forecasts may change. We may have things that we're not, as we stand here right now, expecting to happen. That's what happens with these bad weather events. And that is why we've also, and Jim made the comment, we want the community to be our partners in this. Unfortunately, we have all lived through some moments in time where the cold weather has had a significant negative impact on our day-to-day living. Please, please have a plan, and please pay attention to the weather, pay attention to whether or not you need to be going out, and be prepared for the weather to hit. Because I want to say this as clearly as I can. While we're prepared and while we will be doing everything we can, some things are unpredictable and some things will happen that we don't want to have happen. It will not be perfect. It cannot be perfect. And so we will do our best, but we need the help of the citizens and the residents of this community to be in a position where you're prepared as well. And with that, we'll be happy. We've got a number of people here that are experts in different areas that can answer questions, and we'll start with you.
Can you guys talk a little bit more about what the city has done to pre-treat the roads and any concerns about that treatment being washed away with the rain before the freezing
You got it.
comes in?
Thank you for your question. Richard Mendoza, Director for City of Austin Transportation and Public Works. Yes, sir. So city employees beginning yesterday evening started pre-treatment applications on our major roadways and pathways to our critical facilities. It's the similar product that our state Texas DOT uses. Once it bonds to the surface, it'll withstand a measure of precipitation. It won't wash away. We also have at our disposal a variety of additional materials where we will continue treatment and retreatment as conditions warrant through the duration of this event. We have our engineers stationed at all points in the city to monitor current atmospheric conditions as well as ground temperatures. So we have crews on rotating 12-hour shifts at the ready. These consist of both street and bridge operations, traffic signal operations, signs technicians, as well as forestry to help keep our roads clear. And so we stand ready for the duration of this event to ensure our major roadways are as safe as possible. That's not to say that even though a roadway is treated, you will not encounter ice. Those conditions can always be spotty in nature. We want those to be reported timely to 311 call, and we have a complement of standby crews ready to mobilize and react to those as needed.
And I would add, even with all that work that's going in, and even with the professionals doing that job, and as he just pointed out, it's not perfect. There may be spotty situations, but I would add, if you don't need to be out, please don't get out on the roads. Even though good work has happened so that the roads are as safe as we can make them under the circumstances, the safest place will be to not be on the road. Thank you, sir.
Mayor Watson, Josh Turner, KXAN. Quick question. So the governor at his press conference this week said if the power does go out, that's a local provider issue, such as ice on a power line or a down power line due to vegetation, and is out of the state's hands. Do you agree with that assessment? And if so, what's in place to fix this if it occurs?
Well, I'm going to bring up our general manager and CEO at Austin Energy to talk about what we've done to prepare and how we will react to those sorts of things. So please do that.
Good morning, Stuart Riley, Austin Energy General Manager. Let me just take a step back quickly and say that I understand we've been through issues in our city and in our state in recent years. In fact, over the past 5 years, we've experienced the 3 worst storms in Austin Energy's history in terms of power outage impacts. And so that's been very difficult for our customers. But as a result, Austin Energy over the past few years has done a great deal to prepare for storms, in particular to prepare for winter storms like what we're facing right now. Our crews are ready. Our staffing plans are in place. We've improved our restoration procedures, our mutual aid coordination. We've made improvements to our outage map. So we are the most prepared that we have ever been for a winter storm. You don't know what the conditions are going to provide. There could still be outages for a number of reasons. People will be probably out there driving when they shouldn't be, and a car can crash into a pole. That could create a local outage. There could still be impacts on trees that could cause localized outages. To your question, what we have heard from ERCOT is the grid at a statewide level is going to have enough supply to meet demand. And so from a grid-wide perspective, there aren't issues expected like what we saw in Winter Storm Uri. That being said, there can be outages for a number of reasons. We are prepared. We need our customers to be prepared because we still don't know in terms of what types of ice accumulation we're going to see. That can be very damaging to equipment. So we are ready and we will be out there responding. Our crews will not stop restoring power until every single customer is restored as quickly and safely as possible.
To double down on that, you are confident in ERCOT's assessment that the power grid will not go down?
I have not made an independent assessment of ERCOT's assessment. I've heard what ERCOT has said in terms of that the grid is well supplied, and it does appear that that's the case. I've looked at the supply and demand forecast as well.
Mayor, getting back to what people can do, I can, sir.
Hey, hang on 1 second. I'll come to you, Rudy. I apologize. Dr. Walks.
Hi, I'm Dr. Desmar Walks, Austin Travis County Health Authority, and I just want to say that we're in the life safety portion of this response and in the planning part of that. And so as all of the speakers prior to me have said, now's the time to plan for people, pets, pipes, and so on. And so that's what we're talking about. We have lists of people that have signed up to be contacted in the event of an ongoing emergency. We've sent out messaging to them to help them prepare for this emergency. And in the event that we have a power outage, we will be contacting those on that list. In addition, as a result of the declaration of an emergency, we'll have access to additional names of individuals that have equipment, and we will reach out to them. But in the meantime, I want everybody out there to know that it's time for you to identify where your plans are, make sure that you're prepared, make sure that you have enough medication, stay home off the roads. If you need help, please call 211 and we can assess what your needs are and try to get resources to you. But in the event that that is not possible, because we don't know the extent of what we're facing, it would be important for you to have an emergency contact individual or someone, a neighbor, a coworker, or friend who can reach out and help you. We're all ready for this emergency, but as we do not know what we do not know, it's important that everybody take the time now to be prepared. Thank you.
Good, thanks for the addition. Yes, Rudy.
You know, back in 21, I remember the images of homes and apartment complexes with broken pipes and the cascading water that froze. Back in the day, Mayor, when I was young, the rule was...
That was a long time ago, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was a long time ago, back in the day. The rule was open up your cabinets, drip your faucets, and keep the water flowing. Is that rule still in play, you think? And can someone come and talk to us? Because we were having that discussion earlier today. You know, I know homes are insulated better, yet in 21, those ice flows from those apartment complexes. So should we drip our pipes?
I'm going to let our expert on water help answer that question and give you what the expertise says.
Yeah, so what's the rule?
Good morning. My name is Shay Rawls-Rolson. I'm the director of Austin Water. The best way for folks to protect their indoor faucets is to open the cabinets under their kitchen and bathroom sinks to allow the warmer air to circulate around the pipes. Of course, if you have pets or children in your home, be sure to remove any cleaning supplies so that they don't get into those. You can drip if needed. If the measures taken above if those measures of opening the cabinets are insufficient to keep your pipes warm, then you can do a little drip on the faucet that's farthest from your water meter. And we have a lot of videos on austinwater.org that give you tips and show you what it looks like to drip a faucet. It's very small in order to be effective. If you lose power so that you're unable to keep your pipes warm enough to prevent them from freezing, then you may want to shut off the water to your home to avoid having the pipes freeze inside your home. Again, we have videos on austinwater.org that will show you how to access your shutoff in for your home so that you can protect your pipes. Thank you.
Question for Austin Energy. We've seen already a few thousand outages this morning. Are there already crews pre-positioned across the city to respond as these pop up? And if so, how does that affect how prepared the city is and how quickly they can get to outages?
Yes, thank you for that. Again, Stuart Riley, Austin Energy General Manager. There have been some scattered outages across our service territory today. The largest was from a vehicle colliding with a utility pole. Our crews are out there in the field as we speak. That does not affect our staffing levels that we'll have in place on Saturday. So we are planning to have a full complement of our crews. We'll have everybody available in terms of our line crews. We're bringing in additional vegetation management tree trimmer crews to be available, and then we can staff up. We've made sure that our mutual aid contracts are already in place. We've reached out to our mutual aid providers to confirm availability if we do have to bring in additional crews from the outside.
I have a question for President Watkins. Hi, can you just share when you believe Cat Metro might be back online?
Yeah, so we are watching the weather closely. We will make a decision mid-morning tomorrow about Sunday, and likely mid-morning Sunday about Monday.
And then you mentioned that Cat Metro might be involved with emergency operations of some sort. Can you elaborate on what those might be?
Yeah, so part of the standard response from the Emergency Operations Center is to do cold weather sheltering for people who need a warm place to stay. And Cap Metro, as part of that plan, provides transportation. So folks who need a cold weather shelter can go to One Texas Center downtown to get registered, and then Cap Metro actually sends buses to One Texas Center to get them to the ultimate shelter so that we can. So those will continue in operation as long as they're needed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, is there anyone here from the airport?
I don't think we. Yep, no good. Yes, a very good person from the airport.
Just wondering in regards to, have y'all initiated the overnight staying by support staff, and you can't answer this, but maybe someone else as a follow-up. Are hospitals bringing in stay and facility overnight along that line? So with ABIA, what are you all doing?
Thank you, Rudy. Sam Haynes, Airport Deputy Chief with Austin Aviation and Austin Bergstrom International Airport. We do have some teams pre-staging and staying overnight, and that's really just to make sure that our staff that don't live so close to the airport can safely arrive for their shift starts. We've activated our own Department of Operations Center, and really our role comes to making sure that the airport is open, and we do expect the airport to stay open throughout the duration of this event.
With regard to hospitals, they're going to follow their typical emergency action plans. All right, folks. On behalf of the judge, you want to say anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Mayor.
Manager, you have anything you want to add? Jim?
Sir.
Eric? All right. The number one message is we're prepared. We have spent the week preparing. We will watch closely and see how things might change. You see, and I'm very proud of the people you're hearing from, and when you have these questions, the level of work that they, not just expertise, but the work that they've put in to try to protect our residents in Travis County and in Austin, Texas. Things will be unexpected. There will be things that happen that we can't expect. There will be things that happen that prove you can't have a perfect situation under these circumstances. But we are doing the things we can to be ready. A key part of this, and it's something that the judge and I have pledged now for a couple of years, is that we're going to do everything we can to communicate with the residents about what's going on. And that's part of the reason we're here today. We want people to have the information. So I'm very thankful to the members of the media that are here, that are asking these questions, and are going to put it out there so that people will see it. But we need people to plan, and we need people to be prepared so that they're safe. And that's our number one goal, is to keep them safe. So again, thanks to everybody for being here. Everybody, please work to be safe, and please work to stay warm over this weekend. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. John.
Thank you.
If I could have everybody tense for just 1 second for exiting procedures. Because y'all did come in our one lane gate. So it's one lane going out also. So I'm gonna have a couple of deputy out there to try to direct most of y'all out. But if you get out there before or after they're set up, you need to wait for those gate arms to close and go red before that next person hits the sensor, and that sensor is a yellow circular puck on the ground.
You mean in their cars is what you're saying?
Yeah, in your
when
vehicles.
people are leaving in their cars.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, leaving in your vehicles, yes. Sorry.
That's all right.
So if those arms malfunction, just wait a few seconds. My guys are on the cameras watching it and working to correct the little problem that happens with this system.
Got a question along that line. I've got to do a live shot at noon. Can I stay on property?
Till then?
Yes. I've got to do a noon shot.
Did you
Get
bring
this
like
information
coffee,
out.
any snacks or anything?
Solid thing.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you very much.
Kind of got thrown into this.
were only kind of size rather than
Yeah, we're not increasing our. We're not really shooting. We've lost a few retirements. We have we're not really.
I always see emails coming in and I'm like, no, for so happy. A baby. Do you still spend much time with San Antonio?
Top of James that goes on the way up. Wait for the arm to fully clear.
She's not as
Farther, we might not block as much foot traffic. I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah.
With folks, but
Just trying to find a spot out of the way. Excuse me. All right. Put these down.
I have you stand just right around this way?
Yeah. Look at me, you don't have to look at the camera. All right, sir, I wanted to ask you first of all, people may be thinking back to 2021, 2023. You mentioned this a little bit in the press conference. Can you talk about some of the improvements that Austin Energy has made in the last couple of years and how it's helped you prepare for what may come this weekend?
yeah, after we got through Winter Storm Uri in 2021 and after Winter Storm Mara in 2023, for both of those events, we did very thorough after-action reviews and we came up with after-action reports, dozens of items of improvements on those reports. They can be found on our website with completion reports of how we followed up on each and every one of those actions. So just to give you a few of those highlights, one is how we do restoration coordination of our crews, how we bring in external crews when we bring in mutual aid crews to work on our system. We added damage assessors. So those damage assessors are going out into the field to get a view of what's going on the system, to feed that intelligence back into our system control center to better deploy more efficiently and more effectively deploying restoration crews. We've increased the capacity of our outage map, and we've increased our communication. So a lot more going on. People can go to austinenergy.com/alerts for the latest situation. So a lot more tools in our toolkit. We've been doing drills. We have some critical supplies on hand, and we've been preparing all week, but we do preparations year-round for these types of events.
When we think about ice accumulation, how much ice accumulation does it take to really make a difference in power lines across the city?
The general rule for utilities, this isn't unique to Austin Energy at all. All utilities, you start to see outages, really when you get close to 1/4 of an inch, you might start to see some outages. Anything approaching 1/2 inch, you can have more widespread outages, and then anything above 1/2 inch can create a lot more damage in terms of weighing trees down, entire trees falling down. The comms wires can carry a lot of weight. Thousands of pounds of ice on that infrastructure can cause a lot of damage. So anything when you get above 1/4 and especially above 1/2, it can create a lot of damage on a system.
Any idea of how many crews will be out through the weekend?
We will have hundreds of personnel on our system at all times. We will be out there 24 hours a day, responding whether it's icy, snowy, rainy, any kinds of conditions. We'll have hundreds of Austin Energy crews working on our system, and if we need to bring in more than that, we will, to provide more restoration help to our teams.
Any other message to customers today?
Well, we just want our customers to be prepared. Outages can happen for a variety of reasons. It doesn't have to be a grid issue. It doesn't have to be an ice issue. But if there is any kind of outage when you have extreme temperatures like this, we just want people to have a plan, charge their devices, sign up for our outage alerts, be ready, and we are ready to assist, and we will be out there in the community doing our best to safely restore power as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
You too.
Take care.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.